Aloha and welcome back to the SUP FM podcast. My name's Simon Hutchinson, and in the SUP FM podcast I talk to people who can inspire and add to your experience of the sport. And in every episode I talk to people who have either done something incredible in SUP or who offer some learning and information which can add something to your time on the water. This week it's a very different episode. It's a bonus episode because we're between seasons and it's much shorter than usual. And it came about after a conversation yesterday with Alan Taylor from SUP North and John McFadzean from SUP the World. And you will have heard John on the podcast. He's recorded 2 episodes with us so far, episodes 41 and 60, which you can listen to in our back catalogue. And he's paddled in a variety of different countries, and so of course that also includes Ukraine. And I'll allow Alan to introduce himself a little bit later. So there isn't much of the world that hasn't been touched by SUP over the last few years, and Ukraine can definitely count itself amongst those countries who have until recently had a growing SUP scene. It had a vibrant network of shops like SUP Board Odessa, which was founded in 2016, or the SUP Market in Kiev, which is a shop that sells all the brands we recognise, including Red and Starboard. And last year, Ukraine sent a team to the ICF Championships. And less than a month ago, Ukrainian SUP governing body, the UFSS, and their chairman, who's also the owner of the Rapid SUP shop, Andriy Liuty-Liutenko, announced the race schedule for 2022, with the bulk of their races planned to be held in Kiev, which is a city obviously now under attack. So the reason for this episode is to pass on a message from Alan, John and me to ask you, as a member of the international SUP tribe, to show solidarity with your fellow suppers and everyone in Ukraine, to let them know that we are thinking of them, we're supporting them. And then also, if you're able to make a contribution to the organisations who are working to support those who are defending their country, those just trying to stay at home in a war-torn country, or those who have been displaced. So the driving force behind this episode is Alan, and I'll leave him to introduce himself.
Hello, my name is Alan. I co-own a paddleboard school and online shop in Southport called SUP North. We have been operating for 9 years now and have introduced many people in the northwest of England to the joys of SUP. SUP North is a co-owned business, and both myself and Lucy are passionate paddleboarders that have over the years enjoyed racing, surfing, social, and more recently the new foiling sides of SUP. After watching news reports this week regarding the invasions of Ukraine, feeling paralysed by shock and outrage, I woke one morning and decided it was time to act. I had to do something. Well, that's something that SUP North do well, is inspire people to SUP. So we can organise a paddle. A paddle for peace is the obvious thing to do. Raise money for the citizens of Ukraine. But we also want to raise the profile of their situation. We all have voices on social media. Maybe we can reach out to some of the Russian paddleboarders, as we know there are many. A Paddle for Peace was born, and I decided this must be bigger than our one event. So in the last 24 hours, I have set about contacting many influential people in the SUP community, asking them if they can also run their own Paddle for Peace. And that's what we hope will happen. We are hoping that many paddleboarders around the globe will mobilise their friends, jumping on their boards, grabbing their paddles and standing up for Ukraine in a Paddle for Peace. If you organise an event, encourage donations to a relevant charity. Wear yellow and blue. Tag your images of your event with hashtag Paddle for Peace and hashtag Stand Up for Ukraine.
Earlier today, Alan used his SUP North van to deliver aid to the Christian International Aid Depot. And during that visit, he met a Ukrainian who had been living in the UK for 21 years and who was setting out to London to pick up a load of bulletproof vests and helmets and drive them to Ukraine. Alan also recorded this message from one of the organisers of the depot. And apologies for the background noise, but I think you can hear what he says.
I've just been in communication with our director in Ukraine, Pastor Pasha, and all the customs regulations have been waived for International Aid Trust. We can send trucks in right into our distribution centre just outside Kiev, and we need urgently as much food as possible, tons of it. We need medication, we need painkillers, we need bandages, any type of medical help at all, dressings and antiseptics. We need it as soon as possible, please. Any dried food, any tinned food such as tinned fish, tinned meat. You've got your cupboards full, let us have it. People are they're on the verge of starvation now because the shops have been empty for a few days now and they've nothing. Even the water's been taken out of the equation. So please help. God bless you all. We're making a difference. There's a truck behind me just on the way to the refugees at the border in Moldova, and we've got loads and loads planned. So bless you all and thank you. God bless.
A couple of days ago, Andriy, the chairman of the Ukrainian Federation of SUP, left this message on his Facebook page. To all the members of the international SUP community, Ukraine is under fire now. Russia continues its unprecedented violent aggression against our country. Thank you for your support, guys. The fight continues. We will never surrender. Keep calm and support Ukraine. So it's a grim time in Ukraine, but as a tribe, let's give our support however we can. And if you wanted to get to an organised event, there's already some Paddle for Peace events set up in the UK and in Ireland. Paul Byrne has organised one in Dublin on Sunday the 13th of March. Paddleboarding London are out on the water on Saturday the 12th of March, and the SUP North event with Alan is on Sunday the 6th of March. SUP Wirral is going ahead on the 20th, and links to all these events are there in the show notes. And whether you can go to these ones in the UK or if you're organising your own, it would be great to see them featured on social media. So thanks for listening to this very short episode. I'll leave the final words to Alan, and we'll see you on the water.
To sum things up, we hope our single Paddle for Peace will inspire many others around the globe to join us and stand united together paddling for peace, showing our support for the Ukrainian citizens and sending a message to Russia that this is not okay. We look forward to seeing images of your events. Please don't forget the hashtags Paddle for Peace and Stand Up for Ukraine.